Join me, 48 Hours correspondent Erin Moriarty, on my podcast, My Life of Crime, as I take on true crime investigations like no other. This season, I'm looking into the labyrinth of crime and secrets within families. I'm cutting straight to the evidence and talking to the people directly involved, including investigators and the families of victims. Listen to My Life of Crime with Erin Moriarty wherever you get your podcasts.
This episode is brought to you by Marvel Studios Echo. All episodes streaming January 9th, only on Hulu and Disney+. Rated TV MALV. Viewer discretion advised. Maya Lopez has betrayed her mentor, the notorious Kingpin. Now on the run, she returns to her hometown to prepare for the biggest fight of her life. Don't miss Marvel Studios' hardest-hitting series yet. An epic 5-episode event. Marvel Studios Echo. All episodes streaming January 9th, only on Hulu and Disney+.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour.
Hey y'all, this is April.
And this is Caroline.
And it's Thirsty Thursday. I got some Deep Eddies. Caroline, what you got?
I had a little Deep Eddies and then I drank it and then now I have a little Jack.
Jack or Jim?
Jack.
Jack.
Or I think it's Jack. It's Jack.
It's Jack. A little bit of Tennessee
it's
whiskey.
Apple Jack. Jack Apple.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Japple. So, Caroline, I'm so excited. First, if you're watching us, can y'all check out our new teas?
Oh, this whole thing?
It says, your balls will thank you. What does that mean?
First of all, before we get started, let's go ahead and tell everybody once again, balls is the magic word for taking a drink.
Oh, balls.
Balls. And also, before we get started with this episode, let's go ahead and tell you. Support for Bloody Happy Hour today is brought to you by Manscaped. Who is the best in below-the-waist grooming? Now, let me tell you, Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels.
Hello.
Hey! Manscaped recently launched the Ultimate Hygiene Bundle for the man in your life.
Come on, Sweet Pea.
Hey. Tinder dates, Bumble dates, Hinge dates, whoever. Come on. This is called the Performance Package. This package, okay, we have an exclusive offer for you, guys. 20% off and free worldwide shipping.
Where?
Worldwide.
How do they get that?
You have to go to manscaped.com and enter the code BHH. Okay? That's literally 3 letters.
That's it.
BHH at manscaped.com. And if my math is correct, which it usually is, that's about 10 million clean shaved balls.
Yes.
Hello.
You know what makes me excited? The fact that this is called a performance package. You know why? I'm pretty sure you men do perform better when you're all nice and clean and tidy down there.
Listen, the last thing I want to do is teabag hairy balls.
Oh, you're not a fan of carpet?
Sure not.
Not at all.
No,
Me
I'm
either.
not trying to choke.
So let's tell them, because we actually got a performance package. We got 2, actually. But let's tell you what comes in it. So, first thing, Caroline, you going to be Vanna?
Oh, absolutely.
So the first thing... First of all, I'm already obsessed because you get a lawnmower.
Oh.
4.0.
I've needed a lawnmower for a while.
Can you turn it on?
I actually can.
Ooh, might be a familiar sound to some of you guys.
What is that? Is that your lawnmower or?
Lawnmower 4.0.
Okay.
Do you know what that does? It actually helps with nose and ear hair. So it's everywhere, anywhere you grow some hair.
The lawnmower or the weed whacker? Because we have both, April.
The weed whacker is up next.
the Weed Whacker 4.0. This is the Weed Whacker. You know, I'll demonstrate.
Don't do it. Oh, actually, that's the nose one. I'm sorry. Your lawnmower's actually for mowing.
Woo.
Your lawn down there.
That Weed Whacker really
So
tickles.
this Weed Whacker, guess what? It is waterproof because when do you usually groom yourself?
You usually whack your weeds while you're in the shower.
While you're in the shower. And it actually has skin-safe technology that helps reduce those nicks, those snags, and those tucks when you're close to those delicate holes.
Oh, you absolutely need all the skin-safe technology you can get down there.
You know what else we got?
Tell me.
We have something that's called ball deodorant.
Oh.
It's the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant. That is it.
Here it
model.
is.
I mean, who would have thunk it? Deodorant for your balls. Does it smell like lavender?
I'm going to open it right now. As you continue talking, I will tell you how great this smells.
So you're actually supposed to do this just
Wow.
like you would wash your face every day, like your skincare routine. Throw some deodorant on those
It
balls.
does smell amazing. I'm using it right now. It
She's
smells
tested it.
so good.
Ooh, it does. Listen, man, you better log on now. You might get a whole lot more play down there.
Wow. I haven't had a man in a while, but I don't need one now.
So next up, you get this
Wow, that does smell really good. It really
Crop
does.
Reviver Toner.
I love toner.
Just imagine you are nice, clean, shaven. You
Oh.
put your deodorant on. Then you just spray a little toner on it.
Y'all, I'm about to fall out of the chair because it smells so damn good.
And then you got 2 extra goodies in this package. I am overly excited about these boxers. Feel them?
Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with the smell. I'm
Feel
smelling the
them?
boxers. I'm smelling the boxers.
Sweet Pea will not get these because I will be wearing those.
I'm keeping those for myself. No Tinder dates get that shit.
And then look at this Manscaped leather
tote, man purse for all your man items.
for all your items, so you can travel.
And you know, the good news is that we have Halloween coming up, we have Thanksgiving coming up, we have Christmas coming up, we have Ramadan, coming up, Hanukkah. You have so many opportunities to get a gift for a loved one, a spouse, a brother, a dad, a in-law.
Did I tell you that this lawnmower has an LED light?
Oh.
So that you can get like some good...
Oh, you can
Good
really
vision while
get
you're in
that
there.
lighting. And it has a charger that comes with it. We have a plug. We have all these other tools that you need when you're shaving your ball sack.
Listen, I'm just excited that I don't have to walk into the bathroom with hair all over the floor
Oh, 100%.
or the sink anymore. So, listen, tell them how they can get this one more time.
You have to do one simple thing. You go to manscaped.com. You enter the code BHH, 3 simple letters. You get 20% off. That's all you do. You get the performance package. You get to smell... I can't tell you how good this smells. It smells so good. But that's all you do. And you know what? This is what will unlock the confidence to use the right tools to get the job done.
Get the job done. Man, if you're sitting up and you're real scruffy and furry,
If you're wondering why you haven't landed that right woman in your life,
or your woman hadn't given you no play
teabagging,
down there,
nothing.
this is probably why. So
If
go
you
ahead
want
and
your
order.
balls played with, if you
They
want them to
could
look
be
as
here.
smooth as this green ball I'm holding in my hand, manscaped.com, code BHH, 20% off. There you go, people.
Do it, do it, do it. I'm putting my order in. And, okay, y'all. So, Caroline, can I please tell you a story about one of our listeners?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I got a message,
Okay.
and one of our listeners' son,
Okay.
he needs to be a future guest. He's a little bit too young right now, but he needs to be a future guest. So my friend Crystal texts, and she said that her son is named Jack, right? So Jack came home, and this was like Saturday morning, they were eating breakfast, Mom, Dad, and Jack. So Jack came home and he was like, Mom, my teacher asked me to write my address down. So I wrote 100010 blank.
Like
so Crystal, the
blank,
mama,
BLANK.
blank. That's it. Their address is not 100010.
Well,
First of all,
that's actually kind of close to my address.
it is.
So
It is actually.
I was like, wait,
You
what?
were like, does he live with me?
Is he putting my address out there?
So Crystal was like, Jack, why did you do that? You know your address. And Jack was like, Mom, that's sus. Doesn't he need to be on the show? And the dad is like, sir, son, don't say sucks. And he was like, no, Dad.
No, I said S-U-S, sus.
Sus, like suspicious. And so Mom was like, what are you talking about? What do you mean suspicious? And Jack was like, Mom, that's suspicious. Her asking for our address, she might come and rob us. And Mom was like, Jack, that's your teacher. She's not going to rob us. Listen, Jack was like, well, you just never know. And walked off. I know.
I love Jack.
I know. Listen, he's the only child.
Gosh.
Sometimes these
That
only
is
children.
Hilarious. Sorry, my face hurts. I have recently got some injections. So it hurts to smile.
Listen, let's shout out to Jack for being aware.
Let's shout out to Jack. You are DTF, even though you
Already.
You don't even know about it, but you are. I
Before
love that.
you don't need, before you don't even need Manscaped. He's already DTF.
I love it. What else do we have? Halloween. Happy Halloween, because this is coming out right before Halloween. So
Okay.
are you doing that for Halloween?
No,
Oh, good. Me either.
no.
I'm probably going to watch some murderous shows.
I'm excited about Unsolved Mysteries 3 coming out
I'm
right
not-
now.
Okay, well,
That
that's good.
stresses Caroline out. I haven't been able to watch it, but I am excited about it.
But you did start watching something on Netflix.
I
Nothing
don't
good.
remember.
Oh, okay, nothing good.
Nah.
Okay. Well, I guess we're just gonna get right into it
Let's do
because
it.
this could be a little bit longer. And do you know who I'm doing yet?
No. Total surprise. Hold on. Let me scoot back so I can get comfortable. I'm about to catch Charlie horse.
This is your Halloween episode. And
Yes.
I had to pick this specific episode because I've been wanting to do it for quite some time. And I felt like it was a great horror story for you.
Ooh, is it time? Let's do it.
This is the story of Chandler Halderson.
Finally.
Finally, if you know, I did watch this entire trial like I always watch the trials because how can you not? Even though it was pretty boring because there was not boring, but it was boring because there's so many details, but it's so insane and awful.
Okay.
Okay.
I love it. Another crazy kid.
So I'm not going to play that yet. So we are talking about Bart and Krista Halderson. So
Okay.
Bart and Krista, Bart's 50 years old, Krista's 53. They are married and they live in Windsor, Wisconsin. We are once again in Wisconsin. We know what happens in Wisconsin. We have Jeffrey Dahmer in Wisconsin. I'm pretty sure we have Taylor Schabusiness in Wisconsin. If you don't know who Taylor Schabusiness is, that's my next one I'm going to do.
Okay.
She's coming up on trial next. We have all these people in Wisconsin who chop people up. I don't
is
know
it?
what's in the water in Wisconsin, but they just be chopping.
They like to chop.
All right. So the Haldersons, Bart and Krista, they have two kids. They have Mitch and Chandler.
Okay.
Mitch is the older one. Chandler's the younger one. So they have these two boys. They're loving parents, supportive. They are just super nice. They're friendly to their neighbors. They take the trash out for them, whatever. They're just good people. So Mom, Krista, was a little bit of a helicopter mom because she's like a stay-at-home mom. She is... Dad works all day. She stays at home. She takes the kids to activities, to sports, to all the things. So she's always checking in on them, seeing what's going on, whatever. Dad works as an accountant. So Mom's really involved. And once the kids get older, Mom goes back to work.
Okay.
Okay. So she's like, oh, gotta have something to do. She had an office job whatever. So Bart and Krista had a cabin out, somewhere at a White Lake in Wisconsin. They would go there as a family. They would go there with the kids when they were younger to go camping. They would go there as the kids got older. They would still go there with friends to go to the lake, or they would go make repairs to the cabin.
Because it was theirs. Okay.
It was their cabin. It was given to Krista by her father whenever he passed away. So they've had it a while, and they would go out there, to just hang out, relax, and do camping stuff, right? So that's kind of their background. So let me tell you a little bit about Mitch. He's the older son. So he works as an IT tech. He's engaged. He's getting ready to buy a house. He is he's like doing he's doing things. He's got everything in his life going for him. He's
the glory child.
Done well. Yes.
Okay.
He's done well. He's moving on.
Golden child.
Then we have Chandler. Chandler's the younger one. He was still living at home. He's like around 22, 23, 24. So younger 20s. He's still living at home.
And never left.
I believe he left and came back.
For a minute. Okay.
So he's now a student at Madison College, and he's getting ready to graduate. He was studying renewable resource energy, which is kind of like a hybrid IT degree with like having to do with solar panels and stuff.
Okay. He just made that up.
Okay. So he was also currently working at an insurance company. Okay. This insurance company is called American Family Insurance. And he had been working there for a couple of years while he's in school. And so he's got a good job. And he also recently interviewed for a job at SpaceX.
Oh.
Yeah, in Florida. Because they have 2 locations. They have a space. I know what you're thinking. And I already told you. Tell the people what they want to hear.
Okay. So at one point in time, Dirty Chad lied about having a job at SpaceX. It didn't exist.
Yeah.
He was actually going to sleep in a parking lot.
It's actually coming up.
But remember, I remember asking him, what happened to the job at SpaceX? And he was like, oh, well, they were transferring my position. Mm-hmm. And it was either Florida or California. Mm-hmm. I can't remember. Probably Florida with Chandler. And he was like, and I just didn't want to leave, so I had to quit. Mm-hmm. And man, that was good money.
Yeah, I was told the exact same story. It was an $80,000 paycheck that he was getting.
That he never showed up.
Nope, never did.
He was actually sleeping in a hotel parking lot during the work hours.
Yep, that's where I found him.
We need to get Dirty Chad going real quick.
So he's interviewed for this job at SpaceX, and he was basically offered the job. Okay.
Oh, like Chad, Dirty Chad.
Yeah, I'm referring to Chandler, even though this is same exact thing that happened with Dirty Chad. Mm-hmm. So I kind of think this maybe would have drew me into this case a little more, because I felt like I could really relate to it.
Okay.
So he's basically has like one interview left. Like it's just like kind of, he would have to go to Florida to do his final interview, and so he's basically telling his parents that he's got the job, and his parents are super excited, and they're like, wow, this is like a dream job for somebody in the IT field and just for you. And they're like, wow,
we're so happy
we
for
can't believe
you.
this job, it's paying $80,000. like, and this is when I put it in my notes. I was like, to come to think of it, as a matter of fact, this might be the same job that Dirty Chad had for 3 months. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure this was like some kind of glorified janitor position that both of y'all had. Wow.
No, it's because Dirty Chad turned the job down, so then they hired Chandler.
No. Yes.
That's what it was.
Because Dirty Chad had the job in McGregor, and then it was transferred, and he maybe had to turn it down because...
So then they were able to hire Chandler. So then, thanks to Dirty Chad, Chandler had an invisible job too.
Yes. So people are kind of confused because they're like, why is SpaceX trying to hire this guy who, like, at his best has, like, some certificate in, like, windmill engineering or whatever the hell he's saying, like, solar panel bullshit, whatever. So at the same time, Chandler's girlfriend, he has a girlfriend. His girlfriend's named Kat. I know. Kat. So Kat is starting to look at houses. Like they're getting ready to move out there. Like she's looking at like $500,000, $700,000 houses out there because
with $80,000 a year.
This and most, I would say most of these things that I'm telling you is verbatim from the trial.
Wow.
So this is what they're saying. So not only is so they're planning their future life together. They're going to go to Florida. So now Chandler is, he's going to school. He's working at this insurance company. And at this insurance company, he's working on their scuba recovery team. Okay. Now, this scuba recovery team helps search lakes and marshes, and he would go diving in the water.
He was trying out for adventures with purpose?
Listen, I didn't know that insurance companies did this. I thought they just made payments. That's all, but who's to say? Who does this?
Oh, the insurance company has a diving team?
This is what he is saying.
Okay.
But he is very convincing.
Okay.
He's just like telling you, like, he works for this insurance company and he does this and he does this. He's really doing it all. So far we have this like nice little family. We have mom and dad. We have the 2 kids. Chandler's trying to,
everything seems perfect.
like everything's going good. He's had this girlfriend. Him and Kat have been together for like 2 to 3 years. Everything.
Wow.
So Chandler has had this job with this insurance company for about 6 months. Well, he also is living at his parents' house. Well, his dad had been saying, if you're going to live at home with us, if you're coming back home, because I know he was away for a little bit, if you're coming back, you're going to have to pay rent.
Run me that money.
Yes. So the dad is like, why? The dad and the girlfriend are like, they're like, if you have this job, why are you always asking us for money?
Okay.
Okay. And then he's like, well, there's an issue with payroll.
Oh my God.
This is literally dirty chat.
There may be a platform. Like maybe there's a compulsive liar platform.
I think there is a compulsive
liar.
There's
a chat.
Yes.
There has to be.
There has to be because this
it's
story.
the same story.
I know. So
Caroline was like, where's run me my money, dirty chat? Where them checks at?
Chandler was never a realtor, so at least, I think dirty chat might have gone a step further, but so far he hasn't done what is about to happen here.
Okay. So
he's like, why are you asking us for money all the time? There's issues with payroll. Oh, they're trying to get it worked out. They're trying to get it fixed. This motherfucker's worked at this job for 6 months. And listen, if somebody tells me they've gone 2 months without a paycheck, why are you still working at this job? Even though I did not ever do that in my real life, I would do that in somebody else's life. Like, if they're not paying you, why are you still working there?
Yeah.
For fuck's sake, FFS.
You've learned your lesson.
FFS, that's all I'm going to say. So Chandler's dad, Bart, is DTF. He has questions. He's like, what's happening? You're living at our house. We're going to be all up in your business. That's how we do things. Mm-hmm. So dad is like, what's up with this whole paycheck issue? Apparently, also, you could get a insurance discount. This is separate from his job. You could get an insurance discount based on grades at a school. So I don't know. I don't have kids. But somehow, somewhere, if you get like a certain grade at school, you can send in your transcript and you can get a lower payment on some kind of insurance stuff.
Okay.
This is what they're telling me.
Okay.
Like 20% off if you get like a B average or whatever. So Chandler told him he was having so much trouble getting a transcript, and Bart, the dad, is like kind of starting to feel like he's getting a runaround because.
Can you tell me what year this is in?
I believe 2021.
Oh, yeah, because you told us about it last year, and that's at live time when it happened, right?
Yeah.
He got a trial really quick.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Okay, we're in 2021.
Yep. So dad is like, I feel like something isn't right.
No,
something
because you can go right online and request a transcript, and it emails you right.
Sure can. So Chandler starts showing his dad a bunch of email exchanges he's had between school counselors, and Bart decides he's going to get involved himself because he's like, okay, well, I don't understand. So around June 2021, Bart calls up to the school and he's like lighting up this guy. He's talking on the phone. He's just like, he's actually pretending to be Chandler on the phone. And he's like, we got to resolve this problem. I need my transcripts, blah, blah, blah. And the guy's like, I'm just trying to look and actually, and I'm going to just tell you what he says. He's like, Chandler has not been to classes in a year and a half.
Oh
or
my
he
God.
says you have not been to classes because he's yeah. So he's like, he registers, but he never shows up. Like,
every year.
So this kid, so Chandler's been registering for classes, but has not been showing up for them. And so this call is like Bart, the dad, recorded the phone call. So they play it in court and they play it at the trial. And you can hear he's like, system error, like reboot, processing, like his brain is trying to figure out. He's like, what?
He's dumbfounded.
What? Because if this is your kid, they're going to lie to you about just going to school?
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy. So he's trying to figure out what's happening. He's like, what's going on? And he was like, we've had to have forced withdrawals from him because he's not been coming to class. He actually owes us $2,000.
God.
And he's not completed this like certificate program that he supposedly have already completed. And at this point, Dad texts Chandler.
Yes.
And is like, I just talked to the school.
GTFO.
Yes. I just talked to the school, and you and I are going to go up there on July 1st, and we're going to figure this out.
Ain't nothing to figure it out. He just told you.
Well, Chandler hadn't told him, so he's going to go figure. He's basically calling him out. So, in the meantime, let's go back to Chandler and Kat, who they've been dating for about 2 to 3 years, like I said. She's going to quit her career, get ready to go move with him to Florida, go work with Elon Musk, damn SpaceX in Florida.
She's been bamboozled too.
So on July 1st, around 7:30 a.m., Chandler's mom gets up like she normally does. She goes to work, and then like 20 minutes later, Chandler sends Kat a text message and says that his life was falling apart. Okay. She didn't understand really what he was talking about, but she thought it was because recently Chandler had fallen down the stairs and got a concussion.
Oh, she thought he had CTE already? It's coming up.
So he had fallen down the stairs. He got a concussion. He had went to the hospital, and he said that the doctor said he had a brain bleed. He had a neck injury. He's over here wearing this neck brace. I mean, and she's like, wow, you must feel real bad because this has something to do with your injury. And just wait. So, yeah, he's over here trying to talk about how he has this concussion, and he was diagnosed with a minor concussion. Okay. I don't know if he just hit his head against the wall several times or whatever, but he did try to play it up like it was the CTE, the football injury. And this meant that he couldn't fly and he couldn't get on an airplane.
Oh, because he had a minor concussion.
And he had constant headaches. He had shaky legs. He could barely walk.
Did he really fall down the stairs, or he made that up? We don't know.
You will. I'm sure you know, but I don't know.
I don't know.
I can tell you.
No, do it in real time.
So everybody around him's like convinced that it's this like illness and like he has this issue, but then it comes back around that, okay, this is what's coming into play to where this is why the girlfriend is thinking thinks his life is ending, right? Because he's like, he has this concussion and all these issues. So later this evening, we're still on July 1st, later that evening, and I'll get back to the concussion stuff. I'll revisit that. Chandler texts Kat and told her that he overheard his parents saying that they were going to their cabin this weekend. And this is the 4th of July weekend.
Okay.
So at 2:10 on the same day, Bart texts Chandler and he's like, hey, because this is the same day that they're supposed to go up to the school to talk to the school counselor about his transcripts. Everybody following? I know this is a lot, but this is so good. So he texts him. He's like, hey, I'm ready when you are. And this is when things get a little crazy. Here we go. So Chandler from there tells his girlfriend, tells Kat, that his parents left. They went to the cabin with some friends. The friends picked them up. He helped them pack some beer. He helped them pack up stuff to go in the friends picked them up, so that's why their cars were still at home.
Okay.
And he says that he didn't see the car who picked him up because they left so early he didn't see, and they were just going over there to spend 4th of July weekend. Okay. So the next day comes, and it's July 2nd, and Chandler's at home alone, and he and Kat, they FaceTime all the time. They FaceTime, they Snapchat, they even Snapchat. Okay, Snapchat plays a really big role in the story because, go ahead.
Do they live in the same place? Because you said she's about to quit her job and move, but she's about to move to Florida.
They both live in the area, like
in
Wisconsin.
Madison area.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're,
But they still FaceTime and Snapchat.
She has her own apartment.
Okay.
And he lives at home. And then her mom and her mom's girlfriend live not too far away. Which I'll get to Gary Busey in a little bit.
Oh, Gary Busey? The actor?
That's the mom's girlfriend.
Oh, that's what she looks like?
I got pictures. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to say anything derogatory. I'm just saying she looks like Gary Busey with boobs. But
that's so pretty.
I bet she could use Manscaped to shave her balls.
I felt like Chandler wouldn't have been so shitty if he had Manscaped cleaner balls.
You need to look him up because he's like a normal, totally normal looking normal kid. But okay, just wait because this is so good.
Oh, I'm not allowed to get on my computer when you're telling a story?
I just, go ahead. I don't even care. Okay, so they Snapchat a lot. So Snapchat, you can share your location on Snapchat so people can always look and see where you are. So they share their locations with each other on Snapchat. So they also will shower in Snapchat. So they will set their phones up. Do you want to take a break?
No.
They will set their phones up, mounted there, and they do their.
No.
Oh yes, this was fully described in the whole trial. So they mount their phone on the wall, and mind you, he has a concussion. Right? Mm-hmm. He has this concussion, and he's even using a walker at times. So I don't know how but yet he's able to jerk off in the shower to his girlfriend on Snapchat, but he has a damn walker that he's trying to use. Okay? So there you go. So he's over here, he's doing chores around the house. Okay? He's cleaning. He's getting ready for the weekend. He's getting ready to spend the weekend with his girlfriend. His parents are out of town. He's going to go hang out with them on the 4th of July. So he's just cleaning up the house, whatever. And Chandler is like, I miss you. I want you to come spend the night, whatever. And he's like, but when you come over, can you bring some ice and a Swiffer and some peroxide, because I actually cut my toe on the glass from the fireplace, and I just got some blood somewhere. So can you just bring this stuff over? And
which initially doesn't sound too sus.
I mean, I don't know why you need peroxide for the toothpick poking your freaking big toe, but go ahead. You know, if you have somebody who's convincing and charismatic and good looking, sometimes you believe what they say. Okay. So she gets to the house and she's like, she noticed a really smoky smell.
Oh.
Okay.
And he wasn't barbecuing for? He wasn't smoking a brisket?
I think he was barbecuing, but I'm not sure you think it's what
not
it is.
A brisket?
So here you go and listen to this.
In the house that day, did you notice anything off?
There was a smoky smell.
Did Chandler tell you more about, did he explain why there was a smoky smell?
because he was playing catch with Rizzo in the house and the glass shattered in the fireplace, so the smell got into the home.
Did you look into that any further? Did you go over to that fireplace and poke around?
No.
Was there in fact a glass panel broken on it?
Yes.
You stayed the night there that night, right?
Correct.
Where did you all sleep?
On the couches pushed together.
And where were those in the house?
In the lower living room by the fireplace.
Do you know whether Chandler slept at all that night, or do you not know?
I don't know.
While you were with Chandler that night, did he say anything about where his parents were?
Up north at their cabin.
Okay.
She's covered. Why she have her face covered?
They all have masks on during this trial because it's pretty close to like COVID stuff. And this is what I think personally. I think that
the trial's right now.
No, this trial was no, this is an old trial. I mean, it's like a year ago.
Oh, okay.
Daryl Brooks is right now. This, remember when I talked about this and I was talking about watching
That's when the trial was. That's not when it happened. That's not when the murder happened?
Yeah, but
I thought the murder happened in 2021.
Well, so did I. Yeah, so it happened in July of 2021 and the trial was
She didn't want to be seen. It has to be.
Listen, I have a theory and I'll tell you my theory at the end.
Okay.
So, should we...
Break. During our break, go to manscaped.com. Code Bloody Happy Hour, 20% off and free worldwide shipping.
And now a word from our sponsors.
What's your emergency?
Do you hear that? It's coming from the house.
It's coming from inside the house? Do you mean? Could it be?
The Poltergeist. New from Rogue Media. Two haunted hotties talking about haunted places. Every episode, we dive deep into the darkest places and give you a bit of history.
We're getting spooky in all the right places.
You've gobbled your last ghoul.
Follow along for the craziest and spookiest stories with Debbie's Dark Tourism. The Stanley Hotel,
Winchester House,
The Alamo,
Hotel Monte Vista,
and more spooky places. Find us at _Poltergals. POLTERGALS.
Look over your shoulder. It's us,
The Poltergals. Wherever you consume the podcast, you can find us there.
Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hey, I'm Zach.
And I'm Mike.
And we have a fantastic new podcast to tell you about. Bros, Foes, and Heroes. It's the two of us looking into the world of comics, breaking down some characters that you may have never heard of, and some that are just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so Zach comes up with a character each time, and I go into it just completely blind. I don't know who this person is or what their abilities are or anything, and basically I guess we kind of go over their origin story and just some of the ridiculous stuff that maybe, especially Golden Age stuff.
Oh, Golden Age stuff is always the best, and we will make sure to highlight all of the shenanigans and just absolute weirdness of everything.
Yeah, that's right. So subscribe today and follow us on Instagram at Bros Foes Heroes.
And if you don't, I know where you live. Not really, but please subscribe.
Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Welcome to One Star Rewind. a new podcast about those dreaded one-star reviews that every business owner hates to receive, but yet every customer loves to read. During this podcast, we will peel back that one-star review to better understand how it happened, when it happened, and what the business owner is doing after receiving that one-star review. This podcast will be about love, hate, and laughter. On One Star Rewind, we will meet with real business owners who will tell their stories and how they do rely on reviews for their business. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or download us at roguemedianetwork.com. Please subscribe, but only rate and review for not a one-star review. Join us each time for a new review and a new story.
All right, y'all. We topped off our drink and we are ready for some Chandler. It's a total waste of a name. Should always associate Chandler with something special and amazing.
Chandler
like
from Friends was kind of a drug addict, so sorry.
Not Chandler wasn't. Matthew Perry was, but Chandler was not.
Whatever. The next morning, it's July 3rd. Kat had some things to do, and Chandler, he had to stay home because, he had some more chores. He had more chores. So he has his chores, and of course they're Snapchatting all day long, and, there were some strange things that happened. To remember earlier, I told you like they could share their location on Snapchat.
Yeah.
So she sees that where he is not at home, and he was actually over by some river somewhere, and she was like, why are you at this river? I thought you were at home
doing chores.
Yeah, I thought you were doing all these chores. And she texted him, and he was like, oh, I came over here to find some CBD for my neck pain, from his concussion.
Oh, there's CBD at the river?
Yeah. Don't you know about that river CBD?
No.
Well, now you do.
It's a different grade.
Which made total sense to her. She was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry that you're hurting.
I always go to the river and get CBD.
I'm so sorry you're hurting. I would have stayed and helped you with your chores. And he was like, it's okay, Kat. It's okay.
This is literally what she was saying?
Yes. Literally. Balls. Drink.
Balls.
So he's like, no, it's okay. And she ended up coming back over and stayed the night again. And this time, instead of sleeping on the couch, pushed together in front of the fireplace in front of the fireplace, they went and slept in his bed in a different place than they did the night before. So the next day, they get up. It's July 4th. And they have plans to spend pretty much the whole entire day with Kat's family at the family farm. So let me set the scene for you for this family farm. So Kat,
Gary Busey.
So Kat's mom has a girlfriend.
Okay.
And Kat's mom's girlfriend, to give you a visual, she looks like Gary Busey. And it's not, I already said this.
I see it. I'm looking at it. Yes.
I'm literally showing pictures. That's literally what she looks like. She looks like Gary Busey with breasts. Okay. And it is what it is. Everybody's wearing masks. They look like twins.
Yes. Literally side by side.
So she has a family. She has this farm, and it has this barn, a significant amount of acreage, bunch of woods. There's also a pool. So the idea is for them to go over on the 4th, and Kat's going to use the pool. Chandler's going to use the pool, and this is going to be therapeutic. This is going to be good for his neck, and it's going to be good for his concussion, and he can do all the things, whatever, in the pool. So Kat's mom and Gary Busey said that Chandler was acting kind of strange. He's acting a little strange. When he got into the pool, they noticed he was just kind of like staring off into space. And he is typically a quiet guy.
Okay.
But they just were like, he just seemed off and something was different. So they figured maybe he's tired, his neck's hurting, he has this injury, what have you. So while they're there, they were like, hey, if you want to come back and use the pool. I don't know if this is the first time this guy's been to this pool, But the way it sounded like it is, because they're like, if you ever want to come back and use the pool at any time, like you can. They didn't really think he would. They were just extending an offer.
Oh, but he did. Don't offer me that shit because I'm going to come use your damn pool.
100. So later that evening,
he came back.
Chandler and Kat went over to, okay, so we're still on July 4th. They went over to a friend of, they went over to Chandler's mom's friend's house. So Krista's friend's house, a friend from work. They did fireworks. They celebrated 4th of July. He gets a text message from his mom, Chandler does, saying that they made it to the cabin, they're safe, and everything. What the?
Ariel Day?
I don't know why my watch just yelled at me. They go and the mom texts and was like, everything's all good. Like we're safe. We're at the cabin. The next day, July 5th, people started going back to work, and Chandler had a doctor's appointment. This is all going to tie together, so just keep up. I know it's a lot of things, but it's going to tie together. Chandler had a doctor's appointment. He goes to the doctor's appointment. He comes home, does more chores, and then he tells Kat he wants to go out to the farm to use the swimming pool. Okay. So he calls Gary Busey to go out to the pool, and she's like, yeah, sure, come over. So he drives over there, but Kat's mom finds out that he's going over there, and she starts freaking out, and she rushes over to the house because she knows that her girlfriend, Gary Busey, loves to go topless in the pool and loves to let the girls just flow in the wind.
So she's saying don't go.
So she finds out Chandler's going over there, and she's like, oh my gosh, you can't go over there. She's over there topless in the pool. This is all in the trial.
Okay.
And this was an important...
Nobody wants to see Gary Busey's boobs.
I had to include this part. It's important. Okay? So she's
that was his trigger.
She's like tits out. She's topless. She's just all over the pool. Okay? But she's not. She just typically is.
Okay.
And she makes sure to let everybody know that that's how she prefers to go into the pool. Okay, so the mom goes over, is trying to stop Chandler, like, oh my gosh, don't go over to the house. That's going to be so embarrassing for her, blah, blah, blah. Well, he gets over there. Mom comes home. They talk, and they don't see Chandler out in the pool. They don't see him out there. So they're looking around, and he should already be there. They're looking around. They look in the pool. Chandler's not in the pool. They look around the property. They don't see him. Well, I mean, what are they going to do? There's a lot of area and acreage, and the woods are pretty far back.
Yeah.
So you have to get in a vehicle to go to look. So I mean, they do what any normal lesbians would do, and they hop on this lawnmower.
Riding lawnmower. That's how they get around on the property.
So these two lesbian women are
lesbian lovers
jumping on this John Deere, and here they go.
Let's do
They're
it.
taking an adventure.
Love
Listen,
it.
I love some lesbians, and this is great. So they're on this John Deere. I don't know if it's John Deere, but whatever. I'm calling it John Deere, Husqvarna, whatever the fuck. They're going, and I hate to tell you, but they see Chandler's Subaru.
Oh, Chandler got a Subaru.
Listen, there's two things
that's where you messed up.
Subaru are for. What are Subarus for?
Not for men driving. Period. He's lucky he had a girlfriend.
He's got a Subaru. So the Subaru is the best part of the story. Okay, so he's in a Subaru, and they see the Subaru over by the wooded area. They see the hatchback up. And they think, logically, as anyone would, if you see a Subaru with the hatchback up, the person inside must be taking a nap.
Oh.
Literally what they said in court.
No.
So the person...
Never trust a man who drives a Subaru, one. And...
Ever.
In the middle of
acreage.
And you're not a cowboy?
The drive down to the car, So they drive down to the car. They're riding along. I mean, they're on this John Deere. They're like going. They're like, what?
Yeah.
There's this big barn. There's like doors that are open, and you can see through the doors to see far out into the wooded area. And they see this car, hatchback open, and they are like, well, I guess he's just, I don't know what he's doing, but I guess he's just taking a nap. So then they drive back to the pool, and they get in the pool. Okay, but then they start talking, and they start thinking like that's actually kind of weird.
Oh, 17,000 minutes later.
Yes.
At processing time.
They
It's
start
okay.
getting this weird feeling. And actually,
that's not normal.
So they get into the pool, they're getting this weird feeling, and then all of a sudden, Chandler just pops up out of nowhere. Gary Busey's over here. She's tits out in the pool. And Chandler just jumps in the pool.
Oh.
Like he is just like,
he just pops up. Dirty Chad used to just pop up like that too.
Yes.
I think they're twins.
Oh my gosh, that's facts. That is all facts, no printer. Yes. So he jumps in the pool, and they're kind of like weirded out. They're like, this is odd. This is weird. So I think at that point, they're like, everything about this situation is so weird. So Chandler ends up leaving. They end up calling the police because there's too many red flags. So the police come, and they see turkey vultures. And they see turkey vultures flying in circles. And at this point, they're like, something ain't right. Something dead. Something dead out there. This is weird. We need to get people involved. So around this time, Kat starts worrying about Chandler's parents because Kat was close with the parents. She is like, they had planned girls' trips. They went shopping. They've been dating for 2-3 years. They were pretty close. They know that they keep talking. Chandler's like, oh, it's fine. They just have bed service. They're probably out on the lake.
Yeah.
Like, it's no big deal. Whatever. They're on the boat. So July 7th rolls around, and still nobody heard from the Haldersons. So Kat is like, you need to make a missing persons report. So Chandler finally makes a missing persons report. And when they first interviewed Chandler, they were like, oh, he seems fine. He seems normal. He's going to college. He's about to graduate.
Except for he's not.
He's got a girlfriend. He's got this career. He's got this great job at SpaceX coming up. So he checks out. The cops get a hold of investigators or another police department.
Did Casey Anthony lie about having a job at SpaceX too?
No, she lied about having a job at Disney.
Oh, okay.
So the cops talk to the other police who are out at the place where the cabin is. And they're like, go check this cabin. Tell us what's going on. Is there anybody out there?
Yeah.
They go out there. They're like, the grass is grown up. There's cobwebs everywhere. Nobody's been here for like a really long time. And like, it's very obvious that nobody's been here in a while. So then the police department come back, and they're like, something fishy is going on with Chandler and this whole situation. And here we go with this next clip.
No. Literally see them pulling out of the driveway, heading out? No.
Their son, Chandler Halderson, who asked to be off camera, says whoever his parents were traveling with from this neighborhood were to do the driving. He says he received a text from his mother.
She got back to me on Sunday, said they made it safely.
The missing couple's son says law enforcement in Langlade County has checked on the family's cabin there, and he says that visit only adds to the mystery.
The sheriff said it looked like there wasn't anyone home.
Okay, so looked like there wasn't anyone home. Investigators question Mitch, they question Chandler, and they question Kat.
Oh, yeah. Where's Mitch been this whole time?
Mitch has just been
living his life.
Yeah, living his life.
He's older.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Kat immediately starts giving all this information. She's told him she's totally into true crime. Here's my phone. Here's this. We shared Snapchat locations. We did
She's
this.
into true crime, and she didn't second guess his ass way earlier.
Okay. I mean, I can kind of relate.
Sucks. You didn't get into true crime until afterwards.
True. So she is giving him their phone. She's doing all. She's like, he was with me all weekend. I spent the night with him both nights. Blah blah blah. We were at my parents at the 4th. We did fireworks. We FaceTime. We Snapchat. We had sex in the shower with the Snapchat and all this shit. Blah blah blah. The cops decide to go back out to Kat's mom's house, and this is when they start to do some digging.
Oh.
And they come back out there on the 5th, and they talked to the officers who went out there the original day, talked about the vultures. So this is when they end up finding, in the wooded area, a human torso.
Only?
It was a body that had a head cut off, arms cut off, legs cut off, and khaki shorts were still on the body with a belt.
Oh, God. Zach Bowen. That's what he did to Addie.
Yeah. Oh, I saved it yesterday. And you could see, like, the hairy chest.
It was Daddy.
With no shirt. And, like, can you even imagine? Like, this is awful. So they find this human torso, and he had arms cut off, head cut off, legs cut off, khaki shorts, body with the belt on it. As you see, I have a picture.
Y'all,
this is what I do.
We're not posting this picture.
We won't
but
post
you
it.
could Google it, right, Caroline?
You can Google it if you want to see it somewhere else that I can.
But you see the hairy.
You do see the hairy chest. There's no shirt.
The arms, no shirt. Like it's literally like she described, but you can actually see the visual with the khakis and the belt, and then it's what's covering him. What is that? Is that like
that's just a sheet that they put around him? But they found him.
Crime.
This is
crime
what
scene.
they found at the family farm, at Gary Busey's family farm,
where the vultures were circling.
Yes. So not only did they find that there, they found a part of the mom's leg and foot. So what they,
killers suck. I hate an
just
unorganized one.
I'm gonna tell you.
I hate an unorganized killer.
Yeah.
Like, get your shit together if you're going to do it.
Yeah. So they didn't have enough at that point to arrest Chandler for the murder, but at that point they didn't know who. They had just found this torso. They didn't know who it belonged to, right? So there's no fingerprints. They had no way to identify this, and so they ended up calling Chandler back in for questioning, and they questioned him on the July 8th. And when they arrested him, this whole entire conversation and interrogation is on YouTube. But I'm going to play a very small clip for you because that's what we do here. And I believe it's this one.
What happened? What happened? Okay,
Look, you know what happened. We're not going to tell you what happened. You know what happened. You were there when it happened. We're not BSing you, okay?
When it happened.
We know more
than you think we know. I understand.
There's people that have told us things. We have evidence, we have proof. What more has happened, okay? So your parents never made it to the cabin. I think you know that.
Okay, so that was a very short clip, but what basically they said is, you know what happened, and you need to tell us what happened because this is about an hour-long interview. He's sitting over here talking about all the stuff, just giving them the runaround, and at this point where they confront him and they're like, yeah, you know what happened. We know that you know what happened. We know you're not telling us everything that happened. And then at the point where the clip ends, he asks for a lawyer. So that's where they while you're watching the trial, they're like, oh, there's a short pause, and they pause and they come back, and then they show the cops arresting him. Excuse. So,
did he show any remorse during that hour video?
No, he never showed remorse the whole time.
Ever?
No, never. Not even during the trial.
He's psychopath.
Yeah, sociopath, psychopath. So they arrest him for providing false information on kidnapping, and then the same day, they end up finding more of Bart's remains wrapped in a tarp, and they couldn't arrest him for murder still at this point, but they got a warrant to search the home, and they find blood all over the house. All over the house.
Oh, so Kat didn't see any of this blood? She thought they just repainted.
Yeah, Kat didn't see
redecorated.
Kat didn't see none of the blood. There was so much blood. I'm going to give you my theory after I'm done. He tries to clean up the blood with peroxide that Kat bought him. They found 230 bone fragments in the ash trap of the fireplace. So this fireplace has some certain mechanism where it burns and then it goes down in some kind of like tunnel like thing. It's called the ash trap. Chandler did not know that they had this.
Chandler,
so they find all these bone fragments within this thing. There's over 50.
It goes below the house?
Yeah.
The ash trap?
I think.
Wow.
There's over 50 bone fragments that were skull fragments. So at the crime scene, he burned their bodies. The skin and like the flesh and stuff was burned off, but he could not burn the bone because he couldn't get it hot enough to burn.
Which is why we pay people to cremate our loved ones' bodies.
Yes. So they knew, police go there. They know this is the crime scene, obviously. They also find Krista, his mom's, cell phone wrapped up in foil, hidden inside of a shoebox along with her and Bart's ID.
He thought the foil...
You think you could go drop this off at a damn Walmart or something, like go throw it in a dumpster, but you're going to leave it at the house. This is part of the stuff that he does that he's an idiot.
But he thought he wrapped it up in foil so you wouldn't be able to like track it.
I don't know.
Yes, foil stops all the...
Foil stops everything. So when they start to interview the neighbors, one of the neighbors was like, between 8:30 and 9:30 on the 1st, he smelled something coming from the Halderson's house. He described it as smell of a pig roast. And that's
a
pig roast.
Oh, yeah. And a neighbor saying this?
Yes.
Okay.
And they have video from a neighbor. They have like footage, like ring footage of like the glowing light of the fireplace. Like I was like, this is just watching glowing light.
Oh my gosh.
But it's awful. And it was just the burning. And apparently a burning of a body smells like, that's what it smells like.
A pig roast.
I guess. Okay, but one other thing is, whenever I cook like in my Instapot, I cook like a pork butt or whatever, that shit smells up my whole entire house.
Yeah. Yeah.
For days, and it makes me sick. You gotta
air it out. That's why you cook shit like that outside.
How can you go over there as Kat and not?
Yeah, no, Kat does not have me fooled at all.
Okay,
Kat, bitch, and why did y'all just sleep on the couch just that one night so he could watch the fire to make sure everything was burning down right?
Facts.
And the smell.
I'm gonna get to it. Okay,
the
hang
smell.
on. Okay.
There's no way around that smell.
So they begin to investigate Chandler, and they're like, none of the stories add up. Nothing's added up. He never was going to school. He never had that job at the insurance company. He never had a neck injury. He was sitting at his parents' house the whole time playing video games.
Yes.
He was never going to work. He never had a job all day long. He was playing video games with this guy, and the guy that he was playing with is the guy who actually brought him a gun, which is the gun that he used to kill his dad. But the guy had no idea. The guy just thought he was interested in guns.
So he shot them, was the manner of death.
Yeah.
And then he burnt Burnt them up.
Also, let me tell you about these emails that he was sending over to the schools, because these email
Did he pull a dirty
accounts,
Chad?
these email accounts were Gmail accounts. But the dad
Not
wasn't
Wisconsin.edu.
He wasn't looking for what's the email address accounts. He was just reading the emails.
No.
Most school accounts have .edu. These did not. And they displayed that fully to the court, fully to the people. So it's like you're not going to inspect your kids' emails. You're not going to think that the very act of your kid going to college is
made up.
Made up. That would be crazy. Like, holy shit, where does he go every day? What does he do every day? Oh, he sits at home and plays video games. So he's been he lied to his parents the whole time. He was never going to school, never had this job. So what happened is his dad found out he was lying about not going to school, blows up the story. Chandler's like, oh shit, Kat's mom's gonna find out. Gary Busey's going to find out. My mom's going to find out. My brother's going to find out. Everybody's going to find out all this stuff. So what I need to do is I have to kill my dad. So what he did was, when his dad got home from work one day, shot him 3 times in the back, chopped his body up, puts him in the fireplace, starts burning him in the fireplace. He texts his mom, and while he's chopping up his dad, he texts his mom and is like, oh, Dad's phone is dead. Text me or call me if you need anything. Oh, by the way, can you stop and pick up some soda for me on the way? She's like, sure, baby,
She was delaying
sure.
him? He was delaying her?
He was delaying her. She's just over here like, sure, I love you. Like,
it's probably
great.
Dr. Pepper.
You're so sweet. She's such a caring mom. In reality, he's giving himself more time to chop up his dad while he's texting his mom. Then his mom shows up, shoots. We think he shoots her. We don't know because we don't have her body.
Oh, we just have what was in the field.
We just have his body and one of her legs and one of her feet. Everything else has either been disintegrated or it had to have been disintegrated.
Yeah.
But that's like a lot of body.
It
and
is.
That's and okay, I'm gonna get to it. Whenever so we know that he dropped off a lot of the bodies by the pool, at Gary Busey's farm. He also bits and pieces of both their bodies were placed all over Wisconsin. There's bodies in the river. There's bodies at the parents' property. He was just dropping off pieces of bodies like it was like pizza,
river?
Like that's like at I don't know what the river is, but like he would drop pieces of body off here and there and everywhere.
Okay, so he thought that a little bit of it through, a little bit.
But they couldn't they must have been
they hadn't found all the drop off places.
Yeah, they must have been like eaten up, I guess, or no, for lack of a better word, before they could find, because they only found that they couldn't find the manner of death.
Yeah.
For the mom. They just assumed she was shot.
Okay.
But with the dad, since they had the torso, that's why they knew he was shot. Because they found the torso.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We don't know what he did with the mom torso and the boobs. And like, oh my gosh. Awful. It's awful. It's so awful. So we're almost there. Hang here. We're almost there. So he starts to burn the bodies. He also had a tape measure for the fireplace because he had to measure how
big of a chunk of body he could put in it.
Yes. He would also had a fan to blow into the fireplace to get more oxygen to make it burn hotter. What is wrong with these people? He was doing all this so he could disintegrate his parents.
Well, he did think a little bit through. He had a small itty bitty little bit of a plan.
I mean, okay, so here's the deal. Chandler's made up all these, fairly intelligent planner, I think you would say. Fairly intelligent planner.
Yeah,
So this is my synopsis. He's a relatively attractive and charming guy.
Listen.
Okay.
I need to see.
And look it up, Chandler Halderson. And so when watching the trial, Kat also, she's a attractive girl. And so this guy, he's able to maintain a long-term relationship with people, and he's able to convince these people. And if we believe that he's convinced these people, which I'm not sure he convinced everyone, but he convinced enough people to where they start, believing him, and some may think that he's lying, but there is a level of believability that he's able to maintain, which is kind of crazy. But one of the interesting things or puzzling things about this case is that everything else he planned seemed to be so well executed. But the part that was executed poorly was that when you really get down to it, that the people or the place where the dad's torso is found and some of the mom's remains is that it's eminently connected to him, and because it's at the property of, it's at Kat's house. So if you've got this planned out so well, why are you putting it right in at the places that you are connected to so well?
Tied to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he used saws. And the saws are also found at the crime scene. There's saws also found. He said what's called a car. He called it car trash. He said, so if you have like a sack in your car and you put your trash in that sack.
Yeah.
And he would call it car trash. And if you go watch the interview, which I'll post on the episode description. I'll post the link to his entire interrogation with the cops, because he talks all about this car trash. But there's evidence, they have knives. He used jagged knives. But
it was very messy. It was very messy. It was unorganized. He tried to give it a little bit of forethought, but not enough. He is on no level of any organized killer ever.
Would think you would go throw if you're gonna do this and you're gonna go to all this work, put this stuff where people won't look. Don't put it at your girlfriend's parents' house
where it's tied to you,
and don't put it he ends up leaving all the stuff where he was or where he would be or where he could be found, instead of somewhere far away, in which he did put some stuff in rivers and
random places.
He did scatter some stuff, but then he also put them where he would be found.
So his eyes are very empty. I mean, he's not ugly, but
he's just a typical looking, he's your average,
that big Adam's apple. He might have had a big penis, and that might have been what had Kat a little, what's it called?
But Kat was she's dead in her eyes too.
Look, hold on. I'm going to show you a side by side of Catherine Knight and his mama.
Oh, shit. They look like
I think she's Catherine Knight reincarnated, but I don't want to talk about the dead. But have they been to Waco? #demo day?
Yes. I saw that.
Fixer-upper. So look at this side by side. You see mom that, my mom was a stay-at-home mom until I got into college.
Yeah.
And then she finally started working, which I feel like that's what she did with him, right? I mean, I didn't turn out to be a serial killer, but that means she dedicated herself to her kids and was when they grow up, I'll find a career later.
Yes. They're wholesome parents.
I know. And then, how do you just raise a sociopath? I would have just been this is what you did to your daddy? Just go ahead and kill me, because I can't live thinking.
I mean, he basically was
knowing what you did.
So, all in all, he's getting caught in his lies, and he decides that he needs to kill his parents chop them up, dismember them, burn them in the fire, and then lie about all of it because he can't not lie. And let me tell you this. He was defended by public defenders, which typically, from what I hear, public defenders are great and they do a great job and they work hard. That's from what I hear. That's from a lot of trials and that's from a lot of attorneys that I watch online, and they say, even though you're like, oh, public defender, I would think that's a shit. Like, that's worthless.
Yeah.
I do hear a lot that public defenders are not bad. Like they will work for the defendant.
Okay.
That he had the worst defenders ever. He had no defense.
Oh, because they didn't even try.
They did not try. They gave up. They're like, well, I mean, it was so bad. I will tell you that he has new attorneys for his appeal, and they are going to argue that he did not have like a fair
trial
or whatever.
And he might get it.
But
wow,
as far as now, he is charged with 8 counts, including in homicide, giving false information, and mutilating and hiding a corpse.
I need to see what Cat looks like.
He is charged for he's life in prison without parole.
Life without parole.
Yep.
That's what he deserves.
If y'all want me to, let me know if y'all want me to post the picture of Gary Busey.
Could we get in trouble for that? It's AKA Gary Busey. They do look a lot alike. Wow. I'm so glad you got that story off your chest. You've been holding it in.
Because that was it's just so much.
And it's really real time. And it's crazy to me how he just killed them and just got the trial and is already in jail.
Yeah.
Never does it happen that quick.
I agree.
Especially in, well, I guess this one's Wisconsin, but still, never does it happen that quick.
It really doesn't.
But I'm glad he's in jail. Cat, bitch, you're sus. You're not innocent.
Yeah, you don't go over and sleep on the couch and you don't know.
You don't make love by a fireplace and it smells like dead pig carcass, dead bodies.
No.
Nope, sorry.
We don't believe it.
All right, y'all. Go on right now, rate, review, and subscribe. And if you want to be part of our partnership team, you need to email us at bloodyhappyhour@gmail.com because we are currently partnering with new companies as we speak. Also, buy us around for next week. You can Venmo us at
Bloody Happy Hour.
Or you can Cash App us at $Bloody Happy Hour. We will shout you out on the podcast. And go do your reviews now because we are going to be reading them on the next couple episodes.
We do have a bunch we need to read, so we're going to read them soon.
So don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF. And go to manscaped.com. Use promo code BHH to get 20% off your next Manscaped order.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.